She was 13 years old, stripped naked in public, then handed over.
Sent to a brothel, a punishment meant to destroy her without killing her.
Once she was inside, no one could reach her.
She stood there calmly, clothed in white.
Men entered, then backed away.
Some trembling, some wordless.
One man mocked them, then went in himself.
Moments later, he fell, strangled, dead. Welcome to episode 7 of Lent Daily, where we're sharing stories from our Catholic tradition marked by sign or wonder of God that point us to conversion. Today's story follows a 13-year-old girl who refused to belong to anyone but Christ.
Her name was Agnes. She lived in Rome.
This was Rome in the early 4th century, before Christians had legal protection, and before persecutions had ended.
Agnes was young in years, but already formed in mind and conviction.
On her way home from school, the son of the Roman prefect noticed her. He desired her.
His family approved the match. They offered marriage, then wealth, then status and security.
Agnes refused every offer.
In Rome, turning down a powerful family was not a private decision. It was a public challenge.
The refusal did not end the matter. It set in motion things that Agnes could not avoid.
Agnes's refusal did not end the pursuit. It intensified it.
The young man withdrew from public life, stopped eating, collapsed into illness.
Physicians were summoned. They found no injury, no disease.
They named the cause, unreturned desire.
When his father learned the cause, the matter no longer belonged to the household. It moved into the courts.
Agnes was summoned before authority. She was questioned calmly at first, urged to reconsider, offered protection, promised security if she complied.
She refused.
The tone changed. Persuasion gave way to warning.
She was told what refusal meant when power was denied.
Still, she did not yield. What followed was not meant to persuade her. It was meant to break her, publicly.
The judge pressed her for a final answer. She was ordered to comply or be subjected to public punishment meant to shame her and end defiance.
Agnes answered plainly.
She declared herself already bound, not to any man, but to Christ, saying, "I will have none other spouse but him."
The sentence was pronounced.
She was delivered to a brothel to be violated and shamed.
But once she was brought inside, the punishment failed.
A great light surrounded her. An angel was present to guard her.
No one could approach her. Those who entered turned back.
Some in fear, some without a word.
Her hair grew long and covered her.
She then saw before her a white garment. She received it and clothed herself, giving thanks to Christ.
The prefect's son forced his way forward when the others turned back.
As he advanced towards Agnes, he cried out.
The devil seized him by the throat and strangled him, and he fell down dead.
When word reached the prefect, he rushed in and found his son deceased.
He accused Agnes and demanded an explanation.
He then said that if she could not raise him, it would be taken as proof that she had killed him.
Agnes asked that everyone leave. She prayed alone.
An angel came. The young man was raised to life.
He went out and proclaimed aloud that the God of the Christians was true and the idols were powerless.
This provoked the priests of the idols. They stirred the people, accusing Agnes of sorcery, of witchcraft, of deceiving minds.
The crowd was turned against her.
Agnes was condemned again, this time to the fire.
The flames parted around her and did not touch her.
They turned outward, burning some of those who had cried out against her.
When the fire failed, a sword was ordered. She was killed. The miracle did not spare her. It revealed the truth. Agnes died not because the miracle failed. She died because she would not withdraw what she had given to Christ.
That is why the Church remembers her.
Agnes teaches us this: faith does not always preserve earthly life, but it preserves truth, even at 13. Today's story is taken from the Golden Legend, which is a 7-volume work and written again in the 1200s. Janelle, you have some thoughts today?
Yes, I just thought it was so interesting, the miracle that happened with the prefect's son, how he's raised from the dead. And then even though there's this incredible miracle, Agnes is still killed, But I think that's the whole point, is like, could you imagine the faith of the Christians at that time, knowing this miracle happened, and then that St. Agnes becomes a martyr?
And sometimes we think that, if so-and-so would see a certain miracle, if I would see a miracle, then my faith would be even stronger. If we look back to the early church, Jesus was raised from the dead. The grave is empty, yet people still did not believe. So if we have the gift of faith, we should rejoice, because that is actually a gift from God. We don't deserve this gift, but he has given it to us, and that's something to rejoice in. When it comes to Agnes, I think her perseverance again in the virtue of purity, that was something that was decided ahead of time. She had already given herself over to Jesus Christ, and so when the testing came, it was already decided how she was going to act. Now, I haven't mentioned this yet in the video series, but every Monday we talk about a saint that shows us heroic virtue. So this is an example of what virtue looks like. So St. Agnes. And the point here is that she decided ahead of time that she belonged to Christ. And because of that decision, it got her through temptation, through trials. That pattern, although the story may not be relatable to all of us, that pattern is relatable. We must decide ahead of time who we belong to. So it's a very simple question. Are you aware of a concrete decision in your life where you have said, Jesus, my life belongs to you? Now, I'm not talking about like maybe you've been practicing your faith and you've been going through the motions. We can do that without this concrete decision of faith. We must come to an awareness in our life where we say, Jesus, my life belongs to you. So are you aware of this in your life? Pope John Paul II said, conversion means accepting by personal decision the saving sovereignty of Christ and becoming his disciple. Conversion means accepting by personal decision. Our Holy Father was saying, by personal decision, we come to Jesus. So this is a really important question. We can enter the season of Lent like it's an extracurricular activity to improve something about ourselves. Or when we belong to Jesus, we enter Lent for his glory. With the disposition of Jesus, I want to belong to you more fully and more completely. This presumes we've already made this decision. So again, I'll come back to this question. Are you aware of this concrete decision where you said, Jesus, I want to live for you? Now let's circle back to St. Agnes. The story in the Golden Legend continues on and brings up the daughter of Constantine, named Constantina, who hears about St. Agnes. Now, Constantina, it is said, had a disfiguring illness. She goes to the tomb to pray and ask the intercession of St. Agnes, and the story is she falls asleep. And then she has a vision of St. Agnes saying that if she believes, she would be healed. And she wakes up and she's healed of this disfiguring illness and is baptized and becomes a Christian. So that's the next chapter of the story, and later Constantina has a church built over the tomb of St. Agnes and becomes a devotional site. So with that, share with us what stood out to you and why. We'll see you tomorrow. St. Agnes, pray for us.